Everyone's heard of the Finals. It's an innovative first-person shooter where the entire arena that you play in is destructible. But what if I told you that the release of the Finals Season 2 was their last chance at success? In this video, we'll be exploring the rise and downfall of the Finals. On October 26, 2023, Embark Studios, a Swedish game development company based in Stockholm, released the playtest for the Finals. The Finals is a first-person shooter game focused around the theme of a virtual game show where contestants compete in teams of 3 to 5 to fight in a completely destructible arena for a cash prize. It's definitely safe to say that the gaming community were in love with this idea from the moment Embark announced the Finals. On the first day of the open beta, the game received 64,000 players on Steam. However, it reached an all-time peak of almost 270,000 players on October 29. It was enough for the servers to be incredibly laggy, even rendering the game unplayable on several occasions. Also, many players reported game-breaking bugs leaving players stuck in the walls or flying through the air. Additionally, Embark struggled with a problem many games face: hackers. A lot of players encountered hackers, but despite this, the open beta was a huge success. Embark thanked the over 7.5 million players that participated across all platforms, and after the playtest ended on November 5th, there was a huge upset across the gaming community as players were no longer able to play the game and were unwillingly forced to wait for the full release to continue playing. During the Game Awards on the 7th of December 2023, Embark officially released the Finals after just over a month of further content update. It was generally well received with a mostly positive rating on Steam and a score of 80 from Metacritic. However, underperforming servers caused the developers to put a temporary cap on player counts. It's also been criticised for the use of the AI text-to-speech program created by 11 Labs to artificially generate the voices of characters, rather than utilising traditional voice actors. Despite these issues, the Finals managed to accumulate a peak of 250,000 players, which is not too bad for a game that was developed by a team of just under 100 developers. It also became an extremely popular topic on platforms such as Twitch and YouTube, and thousands of videos have been made surrounding the game. Before we move on, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Anyway, back to the video. Shortly after release, the Finals player count began to drop. Slowly at first, but the downfall became increasingly quick. Their player count peaked the day after release, on the 9th of December 2023, and they had 242,000 players online. But after that, it never recovered. Day after day it lessened, dropping below 200,000 on the 14th of December, and below 100,000 on the 4th of January. It did recover a day later, but continued to decline after that. Likely this can be attributed to a few features. As with any game, players got bored. The gameplay is certainly varied and more interesting than some games, but it's still repetitive. Once you've played on the small selection of maps countless times, it can get tedious. The same objectives against opposition get increasingly difficult and increasingly smarter. One of the things that made the Finals so incredible during the open beta was the confusion, and the sense of almost novelty. Nobody had played the game before and everything was new to us. We were learning as we went along. However, this sense has since left, and as we understand the game more, it becomes more competitive and less fun. Of course, this doesn't apply to everyone, but this is my opinion. Another reason that caused the downfall of the Finals is bugs. We discussed previously that the Finals was buggy during the open beta, so you'd expect that most of these bugs would be gone by the final release. Of course they weren't. Game-breaking bugs occurred less, but they were still prominent in the gameplay. In January, a bug making it near impossible to aim, causing bloom when aiming down sights, was fixed by Embark. Players also complained about the speed of running after the final release. Embark stated that they had not nerfed the player speed, but did change the FOV. This was not so much a bug, but it definitely caused some upset in the community. Also causing upset is hackers. The Finals use easy anti-cheat to prevent cheaters, but this high-end anti-cheat isn't 100% accurate. There are still frequent sightings of these players, and if you end up in a game with one of them, you're probably going to want to leave. Luckily for you, there's no penalty for leaving mid-match. A lesser reason for the downfall of the game is maps. Players have expressed dislike for certain maps, especially the immense size of Las Vegas and the cramped apartments of Monaco. Luckily, Monaco compensates for the small apartments, however, with varied locations such as the cathedral and bendy streets that make combat unpredictably exciting. On the 14th of March 2024, the Finals Season 2 released, bringing a much needed refresh into the game. It introduced a new 5v5 game mode called Power Shift, as well as new weapons and abilities for the light, medium and heavy classes. At first, this new update was promising, increasing the player base by over 20,000 players to about 45,000 on the day of the release. However, after just a week, the play count dropped back down to 28,000 players, nowhere near the initial success and hype that the game showed in its open beta and upon release. So, do you think that the finals is on thin ice? Are we witnessing the end becoming ever closer? Can they recover from their troublesome position and regain their place as one of the most popular games of the year? Make sure to let me know down in the comments. But that's all the time we have for today. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!